Welcome to We Fix Games, a podcast where I play a game and Jerrica fixes it. I am Laura.
And I am Jerrica.
And today we have the second part of The Wolf Among Us. We had so very much to talk about that we only talked about technically 1/5 of the game in episode 1, but this time we're talking about the other 4/5 of the game because I learned how to summarize notes.
Yeah, and a lot happened in that first episode.
There was so much, and I love it so much. So let's get into it. They're interrogating Tweedledum. I always say Tweedle because I don't know which one it is ever. They're
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're the same person essentially. They have no distinguishable.
They share brain cell anyway, so.
Yeah. Bluebeard is there, and he is voiced just as a reminder by the same person who voices Lee. Bluebeard is interrogating Tweedle. And by that I mean beating the shit out of him. Bigby and Crane walk in when Bluebeard has like a knife to his throat.
Folks, for those of you who don't know the story of Bluebeard is the guy who had a bunch of fucking dead wives in his basement, and he told the newest one not to ever go down there, and she doesn't listen, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's another issue that comes up a lot in the game, is that the people of Fabletown, rightfully so, are very upset that it seems to be mostly the villains or people who have done bad things who are in very good positions in the city. Like, Bluebeard has a nice cushiony job and nice apartment, and they're like, what the fuck? But apparently there's been like this, it's essentially a clean slate rule where they're like, everyone has done bad things and we need to restart. So yeah, and the people of Fabletown are like, why the fuck is Bluebeard like in a position of authority? Which also doesn't really make sense because, yeah, he's beating the shit out of their murder suspect. But then midway through, so we get some information from Tweedle that, again, the first time I played it, yes, I was a little rough with Tweedle and I may have punched him and burned him with a cigarette. But this time, I did not fucking hurt him at all and I got him to talk a bit. But then Snow walks in. Gasp.
Okay.
And she's fucking pissed, and she yells at Bigby for torturing the murder suspect.
Even though you didn't
Even though I didn't do anything! And I'm like, no, Bluebeard did that. And she's essentially like, I don't care! She yells at Bigby a lot.
So, okay. Bigby is the sheriff?
Yeah.
So then, but Snow is his boss. So what does that make her, the mayor?
They never say her official title, but she becomes mayor later on.
Okay.
I wonder if it says on Wikipedia, so I can answer that more properly.
Telltale, if you're going to have a law enforcement hierarchy, maybe research a little bit to see how that works, because sheriffs are an elected official.
Oh yeah, he is.
And so he answers to the public or the mayor. Figure your shit out.
Snow's position is Fabletown Director of Operations and Secretary. She's Crane's secretary, essentially. But she does a lot of the work because Crane sucks ass.
So what is Crane?
Crane is the mayor.
Okay.
So they look.
I don't know why this is all bothering me, but it's bothering me.
I mean,
It doesn't make sense.
yeah, that's fine. Crane is a very bad mayor. Snow is his secretary, and Bigby is, I think, the only person who actually cares about the people of Fabletown.
And so, what is Bluebeard? Is he like a deputy?
I was also a little confused by that, so I looked it up on the Fables wiki, and it lists his occupation as serial killer, formerly, and billionaire, currently.
So he's just a rich dude
Uh-huh.
that just happens to be there to beat the shit out of someone?
I spent the majority of his screen time trying to figure out what his job is, and apparently it's billionaire.
Okay.
So yeah. They examined the body of what they now know is a fake Snow, because they had her head before, but they found her body in a river. It had been tied to cinder blocks and thrown in there. And they figure out that she's been glamored. So they break the I mean, that was obvious, but they find the actual item.
So the glamour like is not an obvious. They couldn't like just sense it.
Right. Yeah, the glamour in this is like a physical thing that you can't see through.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they undo the glamour and find that she's a troll, which at the Trip Trap, the bar with Holly, she had been talking about her sister being missing, and she's a troll. So now they think, oops, maybe this is Holly's sister Lily, which all throughout this game, they give examples of how the higher-ups don't actually care about anyone in Fabletown unless you have money or a position of authority. And it's so frustrating because Bigby clearly cares, and Snow says she cares, but doesn't really do anything about it. But they're pissed at Bigby for not taking care of this, and all the while, I want to be like, listen, it seems out of character to me too that Bigby wouldn't give a fuck about this. So I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could go back and look for your sister. But they go to the Pudding and Pie, which is a strip club.
Oh, okay. I got really excited about the
Yeah,
possibility of this like
I don't
dessert
know.
place. Well, I mean it can be. I guess it's a dessert place.
Yeah, it is. So Lily worked at the Pudding and Pie. So they go there and they.
That's so like
Yep.
listen.
Uh-huh.
I have a dirty mind.
I think it's supposed to be dirty.
But pudding in pie
Uh-huh.
for a strip club is a little just too. Okay.
They talk to her coworker Narissa, who makes a big deal about the ribbon that she's wearing around her neck, and Bigby goes, "Hey, Faith was wearing a ribbon like that too. What's up with that?" And she says, "These lips are sealed."
So they go to the strip club because that's where the troll worked?
Yes. So at this point, they're just looking for any kind of clues.
Okay, so hold on. So they're all glamored. So there's a club for people to go see naked people.
Mm-hmm.
But like not real naked people, but fake naked people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't think they
That's
know.
kind of but
Either they
like the
don't know
people
or they don't care.
but like here's what I'm saying. Okay, so like if you are a fairy tale creature, right? Like a gnome or a fucking cricket. Yeah, I don't know. This is,
Hey.
I mean, Jiminy Cricket. Like,
Uh-huh.
anyway, like if you're some sort of animal and you're living in this town, you know. Now, is the glamour like? Is it just like? So, if you are a pig, like, and like, do you actually like still feel like a pig, or do you feel like a person?
Make you feel like a person.
Okay, so it changes your physiology.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, you're still a pig.
I mean,
You know who you are. I
technically.
mean, you know who you are.
Yeah.
So that means if you go to the strip club, you are a pig who is getting aroused by human nakedness.
Yeah.
And that's not weird at all?
No. They
Okay,
co-
it's a bit ethnocentric. Like, oh yeah, of course everyone's attracted to naked humans.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know if glamored pigs are going there. Maybe only humans are. We don't really get into that. But the idea is that like you are essentially forced to be human if you want to stay in Fabletown. Otherwise, you have to go to the farm. So there's never a moment when you get to be your actual true self.
But now like people like Bluebeard don't have to have glamours because they're people, right? Or
Right?
Snow.
Yeah.
But did they come from the farm?
So it's not very clear what the farm is, but see, and they don't really explain this backstory in the game, but they were like in a different world and then they broke through into this world. So it's kind of like anyone to keep themselves safe from the outside world, anyone who is an animal had to go to the farm. And anyone who was human or could be glamored to be human could be in Fabletown. So they
Okay.
used to all just live together. And they used to not have to hide themselves or anything.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's not okay. I still don't. There's a lot I don't understand, but for the sake of this, okay.
yeah. We do meet Georgie, the horrible manager of the pudding and pie. He doesn't give us really any information, even though I restrained myself from breaking all of his shit this time, but, which I really wanted to do. But Narissa directs us to the Open Arms Hotel. So she can't give us any information because we learn she's clearly under some kind of spell, and she flips out when if you have the option to try to remove her ribbon, and she freaks out, does not want you to remove the ribbon. So he goes to the Open Arms Hotel. Beauty is apparently working there and doesn't want Beast to know. She's working the front desk because they're having a lot of money troubles. They're known as like the rich people in the nice rich apartments, but they're having money troubles, so she started working there. So she gets Big B up to the room, and right as they're trying to get into room 207, fucking Beast appears and thinks that cheating is happening.
Mm.
So they get into a fight. Big B and Beast get into a physical fight. Even though Big B and Beauty are like, calm the fuck down, we can tell you what's happening. And Beast is just like, no, I knew you were keeping secrets. But they end up crashing through the door of 207, which is the room that Lily was in. And they find a crime scene. So the fighting stops because of shock. And they find a bed with a bunch of blood on it and flowers, like flowers laid out romantically on the bed. But, like, clearly this is where a murder happened. And so Big B investigates the room and finds that someone was reenacting the what they call the Mundy version of Snow White. It's like the human version. And they find a picture of Crane with Snow White. Episode 3, A Crooked Mile. See, that was much faster than episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Big B immediately wants to talk to Snow because he feels like she's in danger because Crane is her boss and Crane is having this creepy fantasy about her. And so he's kind of like, did Crane do the murder or like he's connected to this somehow? They go, unfortunately, Snow is in the middle of a funeral. She's doing Lily's funeral for like the 4 people who cared about Lily. And as long as you're not a dick about it, people aren't too upset about you interrupting. But then when you're standing on the sidelines waiting for the funeral to be over, Tweedledee and Tweedledum come up behind you with a shotgun, demanding that we drop the case. And you can make a fucking big thing about it if you want, or you can stay quiet. Either way, Holly, the troll sister, sees it and comes over and is like, what the fuck is going on? Holly and Gren get shot, which is unfortunate, but they're fables, they're fine. And the scene essentially just cuts out after the fight. We go back to the office and everyone is like super down about everything because clearly this is so much bigger than just a murder. And how are we ever gonna solve any of this? And Snow is like, oh my god, Crane was being creepy and having fantasies about me. You know, reasonable. Crane is just gone because there was a scene where he was looking in the mirror and saw that we found the photo. So when we go back to yeah, we go back to the office and the mirror is smashed, so we can't follow Crane. So Bluebeard is there for some reason, even though apparently he's just a billionaire. Bluebeard thinks that he's the mayor now. He's like, I'm gonna like acting mayor. He's like, I'm gonna take this position because, you know, we
Because I'm rich.
yeah. Which honestly seems pretty accurate to reality, but so the choice appears now you have to choose between 3 big things. You can go visit Holly at the Trip Trap because she has Faith's books, essentially. They want to track down where he got the glamours from because they find out that he's like going back there. They're trying to find whatever unlicensed witch he got the glamours from. To find that, the choice is to either go to Tweedledee's office, go to Crane's apartment, or go to Holly because Faith has like it in her books.
So what does fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledum do?
So far, it's kind of just like we know they're working for someone and we're trying to figure out what it is they do.
But they have an office,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah. This is the first time
Okay.
I learned of their office, so
All right.
I need to get my laundry again. Becca is needing to do laundry. It literally will take like 3 seconds.
Okay. Listeners, Laura is out of the room. Can still probably hear this, but can't say anything about it. So I'm just going to continue to talk about them while they're not here. And they'll only find out either A, they're still listening, or B, when they do the editing. I don't trust any of these characters in this game. They all seem terrible, and they all probably have reasons to just fucking die. Now, if this game, the main protagonist was a Pinocchio, then that would be a little different. Then I would be with them. Like, yes, we have this little puppet, and he's going to be unraveling mysteries and solving crimes, and probably not ripping people's arms off. I mean, that's sort of weird. Also, in a fight between the big bad wolf and Grendel, I kind of feel like Grendel would win, but that's just. Oh,
I cut out at a point, so actually I only heard a little bit of that. It'll be like a surprise for me when I edit.
oh, it will be. It will be a surprise. Maybe she can't be my new best friend after all.
Yeah. So I chose Dee's office. No. I chose Crane's apartment.
Oh, they didn't chose these nuts.
Holy shit. Okay.
Sorry.
Wow, I'm really excited to see how we got there. So I go to Crane's apartment. Jack, as in Jack and the Beanstalk, is there trying to steal things, I think.
Side note, Jack, as in Jack and the Beanstalk, is a common character in a lot of fairy tales, and it's widely understood to be the same Jack, just in different contexts. And it's always kind of a weird, sketchy dude sometimes.
Oh, that's
So.
perfect, because he's a weird, sketchy dude in this.
Yeah.
So in exchange for not arresting him, he tells me where I can find the witch. So that's convenient. After that, we go to Tweedle's office. Flycatcher is there, cleaning shit up, and has been clearly punched in the face. And the office is in ruin.
Who the fuck is Flycatcher?
He's from something. Nothing much happens here except for we offer Flycatcher a new job because apparently it was Crane who fired him from the official whatever the hell office is, the town hall or whatever. Is that what it's called? What's the central building called?
Yeah, town hall. That makes
Right.
sense.
So Bigby offers him
Town hall, city hall. Yeah.
yeah, so Bigby gets him a job there, so that's great. But then we go to the Trip Trap to talk to Holly. So we hit all three. It just depends on the order. Different things happen the order that you hit them in.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, it was Bluebeard who beat the shit out of Flycatcher because he wanted the information and Flycatcher wasn't giving it to him. So Bluebeard has the issues, not me.
Yeah, I think we've established that Bluebeard does have issues.
Yeah. Holly is sleeping in the back because she's been given so many drugs to help with the shotgun wounds that she got. But we go and look around and some of her stuff and find face entry for Auntie Greenleaf. So we had the name, now we have the address. We go, Bigby and Snow go and visit Auntie Greenleaf, who appears as a child at first, a glamoured child, to kind of try to make them leave, but they don't buy it. And eventually, Bigby finds the glamour tube that has that she's used to appear as a child, turns it off, and they're like, there's Auntie Greenleaf. She's not a child after all. Huzzah. We did it. Auntie Greenleaf has this tree from the old world that the Crooked Man, who people have been talking about, is like the name behind all of this. So Tweedledee and Tweedledum are working for the Crooked Man. They suspect Crane is attached to the Crooked Man. The Crooked Man has also brought this tree back for Auntie Greenleaf, and she has been making glamours for people for it. So they're unofficial glamours, and she's not, like, it's illegal. But the official glamours are so fucking expensive that people can't afford them.
Right. So you can't be here without one.
Right.
If you're...
So...
Yeah.
Snow is, like, unforgiving of this. She's like, how dare you, this is illegal, you're not supposed to be doing this. And Greenleaf is like, it's the only thing that lets me afford this apartment, because, like, things are so expensive, and you have so many restrictions that this is the only work I can get, and it's the only it's the only thing cheap enough that fables can get to keep their glamour so that they can stay here. So like we are supporting each other essentially because you have failed us and you're not doing anything to help us. And Snow, who has been talking about wanting change and she cares about the fables and she wants to make everything better, says, no, this is ridiculous and illegal, and Bigby, I want you to burn that tree down.
Fuck.
So you have the option to go along with it or to argue against her. So I argue against her, and I'm like, Snow, you are just upset because you just found us out about Crane having these fantasies about you, and he bought the glamours from here to make it look like you're putting your personal feelings into this. We need to slow down and talk about it. And she does not deny that. I would just like that noted. She doesn't deny it, but she just goes back to, well, this is illegal. It needs to be burned down. So I just straight up refuse to burn it down, and the tree gets to live this time. Because fuck that.
So far, it seems that the people in charge are, for the exception perhaps of Bigby, are people who don't need glamours in the first place.
Yes. Bigby doesn't use a glamour. He is like this werewolf creature who he's an actual so yeah, he doesn't even need to pay for one. So yeah, everyone in charge is people who don't need glamours.
So what we have here is an undercurrent of subjugation and oppression.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's the thing is that
I love how we play games to escape reality.
Right. Well, that's the thing is that like we're on the side of Bigby and Snow and Crane, but like the people have good points and they are right. So, since we're looking for Crane, Annie Greenleaf tells us, like, as soon as Snow says to burn the tree, she's like, no, wait, like, Crane went to the pudding and pie. Please leave my tree alone. Like, she's ready to give anything up because the tree is not only her livelihood, but she seems to have, like, a spiritual connection to it because she's a witch, so,
sure, yeah.
And it's the tree from the old land. So Snow is pissed at me because I did not burn the tree down. Oh well. And we go to the
You do it yourself then, bitch.
Right? That's how I feel about a lot of things. We go to the pudding and pie where Crane is desperately trying to get Narissa, the woman with the ribbon, to tell the truth of what happened. And Annie Greenleaf had given him a ring that is supposed to bypass the spell and make people tell the truth, only she admits that it stopped working a long time ago. So Crane is super pissed and like, tell the truth, tell what happened, but he seems more desperate than pissed, actually. Like, he's terrified. But we arrest him anyway. Because it seems like he's done a lot of crime. And while we're on the street, we get interrupted again by Tweedledee and Tweedledum. These fucking fuckers show up all the time. Except this time, there's someone else with them. It's this woman who is kind of creepy looking and calls herself Bloody Mary.
Oh, okay.
So we get into a fight, and Bigby starts wolfing out, but he doesn't wolf out enough. This is what I always wanted throughout this whole game. I'm like, wolf out more. So they fight, and it's going great until Mary shoots Bigby with a silver bullet. And since he's a werewolf dude in this version, he gets taken out. So Mary is she has the woodsman's axe. She's about to chop Bigby's head off, essentially. And Snow says, wait, no, stop, you can have Crane. Because that's the thing they want. So she gives them Crane, Bigby gets to live, and Mary implies that they're like, oh, this is the start of a wonderful relationship type thing. Because now they've given it to the crooked man. So.
Side note, I just looked up what the Tweedles look like in this game.
Yeah.
And Yikes.
Yup.
I like how we have the option to rip the arms off of some random dude who picks a fight with us for no reason in a bar. But people who are going around shooting people with shotguns, we don't have that option?
Oh, this is the first scene. In this fight scene, you have the option to kill one of the Tweedles.
Oh, finally!
I didn't do it.
Finally, we get the license to kill.
So, like, it's the same thing of, like, the Tweedle is clearly taken out of the fight, and you can just end him. So, I was like, okay, let's not kill him. Jerica's disappointed in me. She's shaking her head.
Yep.
Episode 4, In Sheep's Clothing. This episode starts with Dr. Swinehart fixing up Bigby. He gets the silver bullets out. Yeah, I don't know what Swinehart is a reference to. Do you know?
I don't, actually.
Okay, I expected you to. So, fine.
I did too.
Snow, we've had a whole conversation with Snow about how she's desperate to make changes in this city. After Crane is pushed out, she's like, oh, I can be mayor now, and I can change things for the better, and everyone will have good and happy lives. And then in this scene, she sees Colin the pig in Bigby's apartment and is like, Colin needs to be sent to the farm. He is unglamored. And so you have the choice to say, okay, you're right, it's a law, and no, get fucked. And I say get fucked because Colin is just in my apartment. He's not hurting it. What the fuck Monday is going to come into my apartment and see Colin?
So, Dr. Swinehart is based on, there's a fairy tale called The Three Army Surgeons,
Oh.
which I have never heard of. And he's based on one of those surgeons specifically is based on the surgeon who has the heart of a pig. Don't know, I've never heard of that fairy tale, but now I am kind of interested, so that'll be for later.
I tell Snow that Colin is not going back to the farm because fuck you, Snow. Honestly, at this point, Snow is like a love interest for Bigby, and I don't understand why. He's into her. He's super into
No.
her. And
For what? Why?
I genuinely don't know. Because it feels like any interaction they have, she's just pissed at him, unless it's her fuck up. And then she's like, oh my god, Bigby. And I'm supposed to be forgiving and shit. She gets pissed when I speak my mind because I'm not supporting her. Even though, like, I'm the sheriff, I have to have an opinion. I don't know, my dude.
And besides, I'm shipping this big Colin thing because why not?
Yeah. So here's, in this scene, there's a beautiful thing that I need to show you.
Good, because I need to wipe the image that I've just put in my head of a wolf fucking a pig.
Please don't have that image.
Yes, please show me something.
So Bigby goes to Beauty and Beast's place because Beauty has called him over. And while we're talking to him, or while we're talking to them, I'm pulling up an audio for you.
Does this all take place in one fucking day?
I think like 2 days.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. They get a phone call. Except at this point, tensions are high because Bigby can tell there's something that they're not telling him. So he does not let them answer the phone because he wants to hear what the message is. So this is their answering machine.
Hi there, you've reached Beauty.
And Beast.
And we're out doing something fabulous.
Let me just,
A day at the beach?
Skiing the slopes?
Hey, we're not done
And
here.
we can't come
I
to
should...
the phone right now, so leave a message at the beep and we'll get back to you as soon as... humanly possible.
Beep!
That fucking message. I'm gonna come down there and bash your heads in with that machine if I have to call again and hear
That was
Painful.
disgusting.
I literally have in my notes play recording for Jericho.
I see.
Oh yeah, these are how big my notes are. Okay. Woof. So after being tortured by that answering machine, finally Bigby is directed to the cut above, which is a front for something the crooked man is doing. It's a butcher shop. Bigby decides to go, well, I say Bigby decides. What I mean is I make the decision for Bigby. You can go to the pawn shop first or the cut above. The reason for going to the pawn shop is that he thinks he could get information from there because Mary had the woodsman's axe. So he thinks that she got it from the pawn shop, but which is weird because the woodsman would not give the axe up ever. So he's like, something fishy is going on. So I go to the pawn shop. Toad is there trying to sell Faith's coat. And he says it's to buy glamours. So I give him money. And you have the option to not give him money, but I think that's shitty. So I give him money. Because I think I also stole money from Crane earlier. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
He's an ass. Eventually, I talk to Jack a lot. Jack is running the pawn shop. But eventually, both Woody and the Jersey Devil show up. And Woody is pissed because he's like, why did you sell my axe? And Jack is like, your axe isn't here. But then Woody finds literally a case that is labeled as the woodsman's axe, but nothing is in it because they sold it to Bloody Mary. So he wants to start a fight. The Jersey Devil is there. The Jersey Devil works for the Crooked Man. So we know he's... What? Tell me.
So now we start out with fables and fairy tales, and now we're bringing in cryptids.
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
I guess why the fuck not? And then Bigfoot's gonna come and go to the pudding and pie with his new buddies, the Greys, and they're just gonna fucking have a party.
I think Bigfoot
'Cause why
would
not?
fit in here.
Yeah.
So I beat the shit out of the Jersey Devil.
Okay.
I mean, I do. I just beat him. I fucking rip his horn off or antler or whatever it is, and I stab it into him. He's still not dead because he's a fable. But he tells me that, because I'm trying to find the Crooked Man, so he tells me that the door to the Crooked Man jumps around. There's not a location he can give. The Crooked Man comes to you. So I'm like, well, fuck, okay. So I go to the cut above, which is the butcher shop. And I find the last piece of the mirror. We find like a back room where they had been keeping Crane, but the fucking person in charge of the butcher shop did like an alarm. You know how banks have those buttons that are like, wait, we're being robbed? Well, this guy has one to tell the back room that to get the fuck out because someone's coming. So we find this back room where they've been doing a bunch of sciencey shit. There's like, what are those glass things called for science?
Beakers?
Yeah. There's like a bunch of that around. And Crane's jacket is there with like chains with blood. So we're like, oh, this is where they were keeping Crane. I go through his stuff and I do steal his money. And I find the last piece of the mirror, which had been broken, so we can put the mirror back together. So we go back to the office, put the mirror back together. When we spy on Bloody Mary, she can, like, see us in the mirror because she's, mirror-like. Her powers are mirrored. So we find the door. We go to the door. And Bigby just straight up goes through this magical door, this magical portal. That's gonna send us to the Crooked Man. Episode 5, Cry Wolf, the final episode. So we go into this meeting with the Crooked Man where there's the Jersey Devil, which he recovered startlingly fast because he's there. And I feel like the only thing I did was go back to the office. Oh, I went to the butcher shop. Whatever, he's there. There's the Jersey Devil, Georgie, the fucking douchebag, the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. There's also Vivian, who is one of the women who work at the Pudding and Pie, and we haven't seen her in any position of authority yet.
Oh, of course it's Georgie that runs the play. Oh, gross.
Yeah, he's gross. And so after some bickering, the Crooked Man finally admits, "Oh, it was Georgie who killed the girls. You can have Georgie, and I would like us to remain on good terms, and we can work together for the betterment of Fabletown." And so I'm like, yes, you will hand Georgie over, but I know you were behind the murders, so like, we are not cool. And Georgie is like, I murdered those girls because you told me to. And the Crooked Man is all like, oh, semantics, you took me the wrong way. Like, so judge for yourself what happened. But it turns into a fight because everyone is pissed off. Some of the people don't want him to hand Georgie over. So I gotta fight the Jersey Devil and the Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Georgie all at the same time. I stab Georgie in self-defense because I did not start this fight. I stab him right in the gut. And then Bloody Mary appears through a mirror, grabs the Crooked Man, and hops back through. And I finish the fight. I fucking knock them all the fuck out. And then I hop through the mirror after them. Vivian also brought George through the mirror. Georgie, not George. Vivian also brought Georgie through the mirror. So we have 4 people escaping. So there's like this whole car chase, and you have the decision of who to follow, but it doesn't fucking matter because you end up at the same spot anyway. I literally, the last time I accidentally chased Georgie and Vivian, and I wanted to chase the Crooked Man and Bloody Mary, but it's like during a car chase, so you have to make quick decisions. So this time I went the other route. It's like you get like 30 more seconds of action chasing one, and then you end up at the Pudding and Pie either way, because that's where Georgie and Vivian went. So, inside, Vivian is headless on the floor. Georgie is clutching his gut and says Vivian killed herself. She was the original one with this spell, so she wanted to release everyone else from it. And she just like couldn't handle this anymore. And Georgie is clearly gonna die because his guts are spilling out, but tells me to fuck up the Crooked Man because he's so mad that the Crooked Man betrayed him. And he said,
Hold on.
yes.
What spell?
The spell, these lips are sealed spell, where they
Oh.
can't talk about anything.
Okay.
So all of the women had these ribbons on.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
That's
so
disgusting.
that's when we know for sure that when you take the ribbon off, that's what makes the head fall off.
Oh.
Yeah, so earlier when Nerissa had like flipped out when Bigby reaches for her ribbon, it's like, oh, okay, that's why. So Vivian had pulled her own ribbon to both just get out of that mess and to end the spell so that everyone else with a ribbon wouldn't die, essentially. And so that they could tell the truth. Georgie tells us to go to Shepherd Metalworks because that's where the Crooked Man will be. Because Georgie, again, is so pissed and is like, just go get him. We go there. Bloody Mary is there. The Crooked Man is there. Bloody Mary has the most devastating quote in this whole game. So they're getting into it. The Crooked Man steps away and is like, oh, Bloody Mary, take care of this. And she's like, it won't take long. So they're doing a bit bickering back and forth, Bigby and Bloody Mary. And Bloody Mary says, didn't your mother ever teach you any manners? Or was she too busy fucking whatever breeze drifted through the town?
Wow.
Because the lore of the big bad wolf is that he's some woman and a breeze were his parents. Mary is creepy as fuck, it turns out. So he turns into this super awesome actual wolf. Isn't that great? This is what I've wanted the whole game. The whole game I've been like, turn into your fucking wolf, because they've been teasing us with slight transformations. And now he's finally a wolf. And he just fucking rips Mary apart. There's so many Marys. Okay, so several notes about what we just watched. First, what do you think of that?
I mean, that would be cool to actually have been the majority of the game.
Right? Okay, so what we've just watched, because I'm not going to have that all in there, that was for you. So what we just watched, Bigby finally makes his full wolf transformation. Bites the shit out of all of the Bloody Marys. There are like 1 million Bloody Marys running around at this point because of glass magic. And in his final move, blows them all away. Literally, in theory, this is very cool because he's a big bad wolf who blew the house down. In reality, it's a wolf blowing evil glass person away, and it looks a little cheesy.
But I mean, like, but that's your thing, right? Like, he huffs and he puffs and he blows shit down. Like,
also
what?
this,
How are you supposed to not make that look not cheesy?
yeah. So, I think it's a cool ending to that, but also the cigarettes he smokes is huffs and puffs.
I rolled my eyes.
Yeah.
So you know what would be really cool
Hmm.
is if in his apartment you just saw like a little like nightgown and bonnet
Oh my god.
to allude to a Little Red Riding Hood.
I would cry.
Because like that's same
Mhm.
wolf supposedly.
At some point, also Woody the Woodsman, they call him Woody. Woody reveals that he was actually going to steal from the grandma, but when he got there, Bigby was already there, so he was like, "Oh, I guess I'll be a hero instead." And he super regrets that that ever happened. He wished that he could have just stolen from grandma.
Wow.
Yep. So we arrest the crooked man, we bring him back for trial, which is essentially just all of the main characters underground near what they call the witching well. They never really explain what the witching well is, but you get the sort of vibes that you definitely die when you get thrown down it. But I don't know, it's like this horrible thing that they speak of, but I don't actually, it's not clear what it means. Like, it seems like it's just death, but your body is gone. So I'm not sure if it sends you back to where they came from or what, but we are debating whether or not to throw him down the witching well, whether to lock him up, or whether he is just innocent and it was Georgie who killed these people, so we should let him go.
And you chucked him down the well, right?
I chucked him straight down the well.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, so there's this whole scene of talking to everyone, and it's another where you have to like choose the right dialogue to get people on your side. And I think I mostly did, so they let you choose at the end what to do with him. I chucked him straight down that well. In the little epilogue part, we find that Toad gets sent to the farm, which really pissed me off because I was like, I chose every option that said, no, you're not gonna get sent to the farm. And Snow fucking sent him to the farm anyway. Toad and Toad Jr. Colin didn't have to go to the farm, so that's good. But so the very final scene is talking to Nerissa, the character who had the ribbon on.
Mm-hmm.
And she says a phrase that Faith had said in the very first episode with like the same gesture, the same tone. She's like telling him, "You're not as bad as everyone thinks you are." And then like as she walks away, she goes, "See you around, Wolf." And then it's like this trigger of like voiceovers and Bigby having a realization, and it goes over how Faith was like donkey skin, so hid her appearance, like appeared as other people. He had felt like Nerissa was familiar when he first met her, all this stuff, and then like there's an option, let her go or go after her. So obviously you go after her. Who the fuck is gonna let her go? And that's going after her. Bigby runs after her and the game ends.
So wait a second.
There's a lot of debate about the ending of this game.
Okay. Let me tell you
Okay,
what I think
okay.
about this game.
You tell me.
Having never played it,
Uh-huh.
I think the story is convoluted and doesn't make any sense. And if your choices don't really matter that much, what's the point?
Yeah, I figured you were gonna say that. Yeah, I just think this isn't the type of game for you, which is good because that's why I played it instead.
I mean, don't give me the illusion of choice,
Mhm.
right? Give me actual choice. Have my decisions actually matter.
Yeah. I definitely had to like let go a lot during the game. 'Cause I think this is one of the company's first games, so it also suffers from like misrepresenting what the dialogue is. So like the dialogue will be like Bigby just says, "Okay, fine." But what Bigby actually says, if you choose that, is like, "Okay, fine, I never even cared in the first place." And it's like, well, wait, I didn't want him to say that. Like, I just wanted him to agree neutrally.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like the game though. I enjoyed playing it the second time, the second and a half time. Your job, Jerica, my sweet, sweet Jerica. I have 3 things for you that I need you to fix about this game.
Okay. Hit me with it.
So the first thing is I need to know more about the farm. Because
Yes.
I don't understand why we learn nothing about the farm. The second thing, I'm just going to tell you all of them, and then we can go back. The second thing is I need Bigby to be a wolf more often. So I need you to provide reasons that Bigby should be a wolf more often. And the third thing is, please, we need someone to replace Snow. Just a whole new character. Snow needs to GTFO. I can't stand her. So, tell me about the farm.
Okay. So the first time the farm is mentioned, we need someone who I assume that it was in a scene with Toad.
Yeah.
So we need Toad to be whatever he's saying during that scene where the farm gets mentioned. We need to see on screen like the memories that Toad has of the farm and
Ooh.
what it's like.
Okay, yeah, like Toad has been there before and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to get there
Well, yeah, or I
again."
mean theoretically, yeah, I mean,
So we're seeing a flashback of Toad being there before.
or just show us what the farm looks like as he's talking about how he doesn't want to go
Mhm.
or whatever. And then maybe have some a dialogue chain where it sort of explains the farm later on if you're talking to certain people.
Yeah.
Um, and you don't have to get too deep into it, but like at least you have to at least tell us why it's bad.
Right. Because they always speak about it as if it's this prison, but like when you just say the farm, I'm imagining like this secluded area where you can just be yourself. Because at the end, Bigby also like he's trying to make Toad Jr. feel better, and he says, "Oh, they have ponds so that you can like swim out in the open." Because TJ had mentioned that sometimes he went swimming even though he's not supposed to, but he can only go swimming at night and has to go underwater if people see him. So everything they actually describe about the farm seems good.
But yet they still don't want to go there.
Right. In like a
So
desperate way.
yeah,
So what is bad about the farm?
and that's what they need to tell us.
Yeah.
Like you can have a thing where dialogue is happening and then another unrelated scene is what the player is being shown.
Hmm.
That happens all the time in media. So like there's just no reason for it.
What
That's what I would do.
would it have been cool if there was a scene where you could even be a character at the farm and then like all of your dialogue options and like when you're moving your character around, everything is just bad. So then like putting yourself in the place of someone from the farm, getting that first person perspective, you could be like, "Oh fuck, the farm does suck."
Maybe, but unless they're going to link that to the main story, it may be too much of a tangent.
They could link it to the main story. I think the main story could be improved.
You think? Okay, what was number 2? Oh, yeah. So, here's how you fix Bigby being a wolf more often.
Okay.
You have a wolf meter.
Ooh.
And depending on what happens, if he gets punched in the face, the wolf meter goes up.
I like that.
Different options you have will affect the wolf meter.
Hmm.
And it's not just like if like he gets angry, but like something happens to him, but like if he just gets angry at what someone says or whatever. And you could choose to just there could be like an option like do this or do this and have your wolf meter increase or whatever. And
Yeah.
you could choose that so that he would wolf out more. That would have consequences on the story in some way, right? If you go like if you run through the game doing every possible way to get wolfed out, like then maybe something will happen differently at the end, or maybe if you wolf out, you're not going to get things from people that you normally would, or something like that. But yeah, wolf meter.
No, that's so perfect because a huge part of the game is how people see you because there's the whole thing of like you're the big bad wolf, so you have to like go above and beyond to make people forgive that. And so at the end, when you're trying to convince people that the crooked man is really behind all of it, your relationship with them sways how much they agree with you. So like that could actually be perfect to fit in there with like the more you wolf out, the less people agree with you because they're like, well, have you really changed?
But then there's could be some characters who that's the only way you're going to get anything out of
Yeah.
them or get them to do what you want.
Okay, that's what makes games like The Walking Dead so replayable though, is having you have to do different things per character, so you can't get all of them 100% on board, and I don't feel like this game really has a lot of that. So that actually would add in the perfect thing, because you would also miss scenes depending on how much you wolf out, because it's like, well, you can't do the scene, you're a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So then you would want to be like, I'm gonna go do a playthrough of like how many times can I wolf out, how many times can I like keep the wolf in. God, that would be perfect. Jerica, I want to play that game.
And as for number 3, getting rid of Snow,
Mm-hmm.
when I think there should be a point, especially when, well, that does come sort of close to the end, doesn't it? You could have an option to where, like, say you find something out, whether you tell Snow or not. So you can sort of like include her, and then you would get these scenes, or you can exclude her, and you would get different scenes, right? Because it would be different whether she's there or not.
Yeah.
And then you can even like, maybe you have an option of who you team up with. Maybe it's you can pick Snow
Yeah.
or Bluebeard for some fucking reason, or Pinocchio.
Yep. Or Pinocchio. You know what? Snow mentions at one point her sister Briar Rose. And I feel like I would rather have her sister Briar Rose there. So having Briar Rose would also add more actual character to Snow other than her being hypocritical. And seeing Snow and Briar Rose play off each other might be fun. And then you can choose which one would go with you. You could
So they made Snow White and Sleeping Beauty be sisters.
yeah.
Well, that makes actually a lot of sense, because you know what those two stories have in common?
They go to sleep.
Yeah, and then some creepy ass dude
Uh-huh.
does stuff to them while they're
Yup.
sleeping. So, listeners, in case you're not aware of the actual story of
Oh,
Sleeping
God.
Beauty, the actual story of Sleeping Beauty is she gets put to sleep, and then the prince like comes and visits her, and fucks her, and then when she does finally wake up, she wakes up already having been pregnant and given birth.
And the reason she wakes up is that the baby sucked the thistle out of her finger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's some weird shit later on about like cooking up the babies and serving it to the
Oh
prince.
God, I don't know that.
It gets fucked even more fucked up.
We're gonna go over that after recording. Because what the fuck?
Anyway, but yeah. So I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, I think that is a lot better. I think the game that we came up with has like a trizillion more options, and that's better. And
yeah, more options is always better. And also
mhm.
like options that like you have if you're given 3 options, and if you're and only like they all lead to the same thing, like
Yeah.
are there really options?
They do this thing where like so if you go the order in which you go to the places affects how you find it. So like if you go to the Tweedledee's office immediately, then it's not like trash and a flycatcher hasn't been beat up. But then you miss things when you go to Crane's house. If you go to Holly's first, you
Yeah,
know,
and
like,
and that's how it should be, right? That's how you get replayability, because here's
mhm,
the thing, like if you go through the story and you already find out what happens, like and you replay it and like you don't really get much more out of it,
yeah,
like what's the point? Like they want people to replay the game, right? So
yeah,
that they can share with other people and whatever.
mhm. Well, and that's a huge thing, like watching like people play stuff on Twitch from Telltale. A lot of times you have to like convince chat not to give away the other option because the streamer will be like, no, I'm gonna play again and I'm gonna look at the other, like, I will experience the other
Mhm.
option, so don't spoil it for me. For this game, I enjoyed playing it again, first of all, probably because it's been like 9 years since I played it, but also I just really like the vibes of it and the story, and I'm someone who will watch a TV show over and over. If I was playing it just to see what the other options are, it's not satisfying. It's not worth it. But I probably will play it again at some point because again, I like to just watch things over and over. On Steam, one of my friends I think has played this for like 160 hours. The game takes about 7 to 9 hours to get through, so I think she likes it a lot.
Probably.
Our minor thing to fix is that murder should always be an option, and I don't think that really requires discussion. Just put a little extra dialogue box up there that says murder.
And mind you, it doesn't always have to be successful, but
Right.
if you're gonna have an option to tear a guy's arm off, and that's the only time that it has come up in the entire game, right?
Or that specifically, yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's pretty horrific when you do it. And I did it twice. I don't know why. I felt guilty both times.
and like the only impact is that Grendel hates you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry if there's some diehard fan who is gonna point out some small thing, some small bit of information you don't get, but like there's not a big enough impact is what I'm getting at.
You know what would be a big impact?
Hmm.
Is if you choose to rip his arm off, your wolf meter goes up a lot.
Yes! That would pump the wolf meter the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be
Because
bad for you.
you're giving into the wolf.
Yep. Okay, well, I think that with the wolf meter, with Briar Rose, and with the farm, I think it makes a lot better game. How do you feel?
Yeah. I think so. And maybe make the story less convoluted.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said earlier, like, I know this is just the type of game that some people like. I personally don't. I'm not a huge fan of the, like, find one piece, go to the next thing, find a piece there, go to the next thing. I would rather there just be I don't even know how to fix that, but
Well, that's for another episode.
ooh, that's for when we get to The Wolf Among Us season 2, which I
Or
would.
maybe I'll play a game where you have to go and find the pieces of the thing, and then you can fix that.
Mm. Jericho, I'll fix anything for you.
I know.
Well, Jericho, do you have anything else to say about this beautiful game?
I'm glad I don't have to play it now.
Mhm.
I think you're right. I don't think these Telltale story games are my thing.
Mhm.
Just because when I play games, I want to usually violence.
Yeah.
Usually.
You can do a lot of violence in this game. I just didn't choose it a lot this time around.
Sure, but like there's a difference between, pushing the buttons and having the violence be immediately enacted and then choosing violence, because that's different, right? You're like yes, do the violence,
Okay.
and then that's a whole other,
It's like
moral quandary. It's like, oh, I'm condoning the violence, where if I'm just pushing the buttons, like, yeah, violence is happening, but that's fine. Like, you don't think about it.
it's like you're giving permission to do violence, but you want to be the one doing the violence.
Right. Like, and there's no thinking when you're just shooting a bunch of aliens or something,
Right.
because they're going to kill you.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to kill you before you kill me. And that's just, there's no thought. You could just tune out. That's why I started playing Destiny months ago. 'Cause I was just like, you know what? I just need to shoot something. And so, and that game is a little bit bigger than that. So like,
Mm.
that probably wasn't the best choice. And
I
I can't, and
haven't played
I
it, so I can't judge you on it. Well, I think that we have sufficiently fixed this game. I do love this game. I would just love it more with our fixes.
And if it were more queer.
Oh yeah, there should be a lot more gay in this. I don't think there's any gay.
See? There has to be gay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think there is. Yeah.
Like if you put Pinocchio in there, like maybe he and the gingerbread man are, a thing.
Can you imagine what that nose would do?
I'm imagining it right now.
So that's it for this episode. There are 2 different extra live streams going on. The first one is our friend Irene. She is going to be doing a quote unquote con light stream this year. Her group that dubs itself Goat Con, which is amazing because I love goats. They're going to be doing some tabletop RPG live streams, which is super fun. I might be a part of one. It depends on timing of it because I'm going to be gone for some of the weekend. But I am going to be donating an item to that. I haven't decided what yet, but I make nerdy leather stuff, so it'll be like a dice tray or a dice chest, something like that. I still need to talk out details about that, but I'm going to put a link to that, to their team, in the episode description, so check that out. And then for our friend More Than a Mia on Twitch, Mia leads Team Sandbox. This is going to be their 6th year participating. Extra Life raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, so obviously a very good cause. Obviously, donations are the goal, but you don't have to donate. You can just come and watch. Raising the viewer count honestly helps. Sharing it with your friends on your social medias. And that's going to take place Friday, November 1st, and it's going to be wrapping up on Sunday, November 3rd. So it's a whole weekend for you to stop by in Irene or Mia's different streams. Mia's team is going to be doing video games. Irene's team is going to be doing tabletop RPGs. So it would be really nice to stop into both just to say hi, but whatever you have time for, that's cool. For Team Sandbox, which Mia leads, last year they raised $10,000, which is insane. This year they're hoping to break that record, and I think they can do it because they're really cool. There's not an official link for Mia's team yet, but there will be. Once there is, I will go back and update the episode description, so you can go to that. But for now, you can just follow Mia on Twitch. She's going to be updating in her Discord. If you feel like joining that, you will get the link immediately when she has it. She's going to post an update for it. If you want to chat with us between episodes, you can find us on Instagram or TikTok, where I am also sharing fun trivia things and outtakes. You can join our Discord. The link is at our website at wefixgames.net. It's also going to be in the episode description. All of this stuff is going to be in the episode description, so if you forget it, just go back to that. I post things on Instagram and TikTok at Glomny, cosplay stuff, breakfast journal stuff, and mostly fucking nonsense that's funny. Jericho, where are you on Instagram?
I'm at Jerrica Sparkle Lady on Instagram, and in between, you might find us streaming on Twitch. You might find some really funny YouTube shorts or reels, I guess.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the difference
No,
between the
yeah,
two.
on YouTube, they're shorts. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
okay.
on YouTube. The real We Fix Games, because We Fix Games was taken by someone who's not even doing anything with it.
There's like 0 content. Like, dude,
Nothing.
whoever you are, please just let it go, man.
We want it, please.
We want it so bad.
I've
been Jerrica.
I've been Laura.
And remember, life's too short to play a bad game. Smooch.